I'm here at the Edinburgh Horror Con. I'm going to look for some weird and interesting and possibly deranged people that I can find to talk to about their writing. Come join me. I'm here with Jonathan Melville, author of Seeking Perfection, the unofficial guide to the Tremors films. Jonathan, what inspired you to write a book about the Tremors movies?
Oh, well, I'm a huge Tremors fan.
Who isn't?
Well, exactly. Everyone loves a Tremors film. And, I saw the first one on telly in about 1992-ish. And ever since then I've been looking out for the sequels, and I always just wanted to know a bit more about them. All I could ever find was a few things on, Wikipedia or whatever, and no one had written a book on them. So I thought I wanted to write a book, and I love Tremors. Perfect combination. When I started writing the book, there were 4 films and a TV series. And it was the franchise was dead as far as I was concerned.
Right.
So I think that's how I managed to speak to so many people. They were happy to be honest about it. And then as I was about to publish it, they announced the 5th film.
Right.
And so I hurriedly...
driven you mad?
Yeah, a little bit. So I've got a little bit in there about Tremors 5, but nothing about Tremors 6. So mainly the first 4 and the 13-part TV series. It was fun to write, and it seems to have been popular.
Purged is that it's, like I say, it's the first in the series, and it's the main character is a guy called Matt Hunter, who used to be a church minister, and he's now turned an atheist. He's dead set against Christianity. So he's a university professor, and he spends his time helping the police solve religiously motivated crimes. So in Purged, he's on the trail of a demented Christian evangelical who thinks it's the kindest thing to do is to baptize people and then murder them swiftly afterwards. I mean, I am also an ordained church minister myself, which, to be honest, came as a shock to me as well, because I grew up very anti-Christianity. I was dead set against Christians. I used to give them a really hard time. I used to be in a band called Creatures of the Night where I write songs about God sucks, spit on the Bible, all the classic stuff. So I'm a full-time author now, so I spend my time doing that. And I still do occasional things in churches, but I don't really do funerals and stuff. The Frighteners has been great. I mean, this is a non-fiction book that's just come out, and this is a book that's trying to understand why human beings have an interest in the morbid or macabre. I wanted to know that for myself because, I grew up loving this stuff, and particularly being within the church, sometimes people are like, well, surely you should be a professional, nice person, you couldn't possibly like this stuff. And this book has been me trekking around in Transylvania and Rome and other places like that, trying to understand why humans are drawn to this stuff. And the conclusion is, there's lots in it, but the conclusion is it's absolutely normal. People who like this stuff are not demented or strange, and that actually having morbid interest is a vital part of our culture. There's a reason why it survives and thrives. I mean, you can look around and see this now, it's thriving. You get the kit with the beans, they're all original.
Well, we've got a variety of books. We've actually got 2 set in Edinburgh. They are historical horrors. The Malignant Dead is based on the true story of Edinburgh's plague doctor in 1645.
Yeah, George Ray.
And then The Devil's Servant is based on the witch trials in Edinburgh on 1649. But we love Edinburgh. We've been a few times, so obviously it inspires our stories.
So do you aim for a lot of authenticity in your books?
We do, We do so much research. I could tell you anything about the history of Edinburgh street lighting, just so we know whether to have gas lamps a lot in our books. And, even the words used in the historical ones were only words that were around in that time. And we've got an online dictionary that tells us when words were first used, and if they're not used in 1600, then they're not in the book. We've met William Burke's skeleton as well, because we've done a book that's not out yet, but on the body snatchers. So we've toured Edinburgh's graveyards and Falkirk's graveyard, and we actually had a private viewing of William Burke's skeleton, which was really nice. It's a lot shorter than we expected, and so it's quite surreal seeing Edinburgh's famous murderer in a glass case in university. There's a bit in The Malignant Dead where the clangers would go in and cleanse the houses by burning heather. So we got some heather from our garden, we set fire to it to see what it smelled like.
Right.
And the next day our house still stank of burnt heather. And it was literally from one wood, it was a woody scent. And that was it, our house stank for an entire day just to get the wood, the correct,
woody scent.
the correct smell, yeah.
I'm here with Justin Park, co-founder of Sinister Horror Company. Just what are you pushing today? What's new?
So new stuff currently at the moment that we've got is the Blackpool Manuscripts Volume 3. That's a charity anthology, so all money that is made from that goes to Shelter, the homeless charity. That came out in January. Another new one of this year is The Unheimlich Maneuver by Tracy Fahey. And the other one we've got down here at the minute that is new for this year is Jonathan Butcher's The Chocolate Man. This is a limited edition. It's numbered and signed by the author himself.
What do you think sets your books apart, and what do you look for when a manuscript comes into you?
Yeah, so I think the thing with us is that we've got a tendency to look at a wide range of horror in all different bits of the spectrum. What we're looking for is quality in writing, something that's inventive, something that's new, something that's fresh. It doesn't have to be a particular subgenre within it. In fact, we prefer to diversify within that. So that's what we kind of look for within the manuscripts themselves. Then the product that we then create, we're very much about making sure that is of quality. So it has to look good as well as have good content inside.
Here he comes. Here he comes. This was your idea to write a book about the Howling series. What inspired you to do that?
I liked Howling 4. So
Howling 4?
Yeah.
That was where it started?
It was, sadly. It was the first werewolf movie I'd ever watched when I was a child. And yeah, I loved that movie that much that I decided I wanted to look at all the other movies and put together from there.
How many are there? I didn't even know there were 4.
Seven? Yeah,
You're kidding me.
The last one, but they're actually in production with a new, well, it's been leased. So whether it's going to be a reboot or a follow-on, who knows?
Okay, so possibly a second edition.
Yeah.
And how did you go about putting a book together? Where did you start?
Started from part 4, and then basically just interviewed the cast and crew, and then spoke with the distribution companies, the producers, and got like information on the background of how each movie was created and where the concept came from, and then basically just built each chapter around that movie.
So we had this mutual fan on Twitter who basically badgered us to work together, and that's pretty much how we started. Bryn messaged me and was like, okay, so you've got this werewolf series of books out, looks interesting, shall we chat? So I'm just like, yes. I mean, for me, as a huge werewolf fan, it's an honour to be a part of the Howling book.
Would you like to be a werewolf if you could?
I would love to be a werewolf for real. All my friends told me I'm too obsessed, but what can I say?
I'm here with Jim McLeod of the famous or infamous horror news and reviews site Ginger Nuts of Horror. Jim, how are you doing?
I'm doing really well. Fantastic day, yeah.
How excited are you about the fact that a horror con, a big professional horror con, has come to Edinburgh?
Over the moon.
Yeah.
Ecstatic about this. To finally have a convention that I can go to that doesn't require a 7-hour journey, 400 different trains.
Yeah.
It's amazing, and I just hope this is such an success that it comes back year after year. I'm over the moon about this. It's brilliant. I'm having a fantastic day. Finally got to meet Nicholas Vince, another chat with him, which was
the Chatterer.
The Chatterer, which is
Hellraiser.
That's ticked off one of my bucket lists, which is brilliant. I think the rest of them I'm going to actually just go and meet everyone else that's here and try and network a wee bit.
How many people have you spoken to who are aware of Ginger Nuts of Horror?
There's been a good dozen or so people that have not so much recognised me, but recognised the T-shirt. And when I've handed them my business card, they've went, "Oh, we know you," which is amazing because you think nobody knows who you are, if you know what I mean. It's taken me 10 years to get to this stage. I never once thought it would get to this point where I'm getting just shy of 500,000 views a month. You know, 4 times nominated for the British Fantasy Award. When I started off, it started off as just something to do while I was on after having a couple of operations. And that's why it had such a stupid name, because it was always just a joke.
You can't change that. You're stuck with that brand.
And then here I am 10 years later going, I am now Ginger Nuts. I'm not me, I'm Ginger Nuts. Nobody knows who I am, but everyone knows who Ginger Nuts is. It's brilliant. It's hard work. It can be demoralising at times, but at the end of the day, I wouldn't change it for anything. It's fantastic.
Well, that's me back from Edinburgh Horror Con, and I have to say I had a great time, really fun experience. Wish I could have stayed longer, and I do hope they do it again next year. It would also be nice if at some point in the future I could sell some books there as well, because I know a lot of the publishers and authors I spoke to seem to be doing pretty well on the day. I didn't buy that much myself, a few gifts for other people, so I'm not going to show them off here, but I did get the Malignant Dead from C.L. Raven, which I'm curious to check out, and of course, how could I not, Seeking Perfection, the unofficial story of the Tremors films, as well as some Transylvanian pear brandy, Dracula, because, you know, I couldn't resist. I'm going to be posting the full interviews that I did later in the week, and there's also a new episode of A Recipe for Nightmares coming up, so perhaps think about, you know, subscribing down below if you don't want to miss any of that, and you will see me again. That's some fine apple juice.